guys, hello again. If I just saw you for the get ready for the day routines. And hello for the first time. If I can see you for the first time today, welcome to the choreography workshop where we take a piece of music and usually we do a part of that piece of music and make a little routine to it, and then we clean up that routine and we try and give some nuances to the movement, so we're actually telling a story, not just moving. And then we do a little mock performance at the end. But in this piece, which is Never Enough from the Great Showman, but it's an arrangement by DJ Tronky, so it's got a bachata beat in it. There's no good stopping points in it, so I think we're just gonna keep going. There's just a little bit left, and the music keeps growing, and then you have a nice piece to perform or whatever it is, which I hope you do someday if you have the opportunity. But since we're in a smaller space today and it's Labor Day, I don't know how many of you are actually off today, but we're going to go a little bit further, but I really wanted to take this time to address some technique that I think will be helpful, not only for this piece, but just generally if you're dancing. And I'm just guessing you come from all different styles, so I'm going to try and make it just kind of universal things. And again, we are always available for one-on-one, so just contact us and we can set you up with that. And otherwise I am just happy if somebody wants to work on their dancing and just to be the best they can be. And I especially love performance, and so although I'm kind of a technician, I was always really focused on technique. For me, it's when I'm watching somebody, the technique is not super important. What's important for me is the emotion and the story that they're telling. So that's what I want to work on with you guys, mostly, but there are some technical things that of course we have to do. So I'm going to start a little bit with our arms. Now, in varying styles, depending, if you're in ballet, you're pretty much, it's very kind of open, especially if you're from Shikari school or one of those, it's going to be kind of forward and just very kind of formal movements up and down. If you're from other styles, they may be a little more open. But in these kind of freestyle fusion pieces, I want you to think about moving your arms from the elbows, letting your elbow drive the movement. When I say drive the movement, that's the part kind of that is leading it. So if you're putting your arm out to the side, it's your elbow that's coming up, and then the rest of the hand follows. So it's going like that. So even if you're doing like an arabesque, your elbow's coming, and then the rest of your hand is going. And that gives it kind of a richer feeling than if you lift it from, say your hand or what have you. It gives your arms more flexibility, and it can also fill out the music. Say you, for whatever reason, you've arrived too early and you're like, ooh, then you can really stretch it out by using that elbow movement, and you can cover whatever mistake it was that you made. Because we're making mistakes all the time, even when we feel really ready and we're practiced enough, it's part of the job. So that's something I want you to think about. And as you know, so we do, I'm sorry about the voice, I'm not too well today. That, we're always talking about in the Get Ready for Day routines, the weight shift. I'm just going to repeat that. I'm going to give you your daily exercise with your feet rooted into the floor. And this is, again, it's not just for the weight shift, it's to think about your shoulders and your hips as being in a square. Now, you only want to distort that square if you need to, right? So if we're doing a weight shift like here, we're moving from side to side, it's like you're sliding it over a table or a flat surface, and we're going forwards and back. you're keeping that square, and you want that to be kind of your basis. So even if you start to use your hips, so in a lot of Latin dance, it's kind of counterintuitive. You're stepping down instead of stepping up into your hip. I still want you to be thinking that you do have that structure. So even if you're stepping like this, or you're doing arabesque or something where you're putting your leg to the back, and by necessity that hip is going to have to move a little. I want you to just think about being square, because this also helps with balance. So when you're going to pick one foot off of the floor, now one thing that happens during performance, what with nerves or an uneven surface, lighting that's a little uncomfortable, or people standing too close, anything can happen. So what I want you to kind of practice is, before lifting your foot off the floor, getting that square over your supporting leg, right, before you lift it up. Because if you're trying to just get there as you're moving, you can end up with a wobble, especially if it's something that you have to hold. If you start to wobble, it's better to come down, move on to your next movement, cover a little bit, because wobbles are one of those things. People normally don't see your mistakes. They don't know the choreography. They don't know what you're supposed to be doing. So as long as you own it, you should be fine. But wobbles are one of those things that you can't see. So you want to try and avoid those. As kind of any balance you're doing, you want to first get that square, even if you're distorting it a little over your leg before you lift your foot. So these are just things that don't happen right away. Just I want you to be thinking about them. So here, this is like this is kind of a freestyle, free form. We're doing a little bit of bachata in it, but we're also doing, so it's a fusion. We're doing moves from various styles. And but one thing we are doing quite a bit is turning. Now, if you're a ballet dancer, of course, there's not much margin for error, because you really have to come up, you have to stay up. But in this piece, we're mostly turning with our feet together, so just kind of a parallel position. And there you can cheat a little. And we did all the time, like in Latin dance, that we call the paddling. So you're just kind of putting that other foot down a little bit. And if your foot is that close to the floor, it's really not that visible. So, that's something you can do if turning is still something you're working on. The other thing we do is stepping turns in Latin dance. It's a little quick here in this piece, so if you can, I want you to turn, but if not, I'm going to show you a little cheat. That is to say, when you're stepping, you can step into it, and you can already be stepping almost to the back, and then just bring that foot around. So the thing is, when you're doing that cheat, remember to bring the rest of your body with you. Again, that's that square coming, right? So you're stepping the back, but you need to get that square over so you can complete the turn and not be here, because even on a half or a quarter turn, that can knock you off balance. So that's something in the way of turns. In ballet, we pull up for turns, meaning, we just kind of, we're lifting everything upwards. But for these, you want to be more kind of rooted in the ground. That's what's going to keep your balance and keep the momentum going if you're doing more than one turn. Another thing you can think about, if you're having trouble getting around, is using your hips to get around, using your core to get that momentum going. So yeah, I'm trying to think if this piece in particular, if there's something that we also need to address. One thing that is not very common to be able to do, which I want you guys to do, is change styles. So for those of you just joining, this is our choreography workshop, but since we've got a little more time today, We're just gonna go over some technical things. We're gonna get a little farther in the choreography, or at least repeat what we've done, but I want you all to have, you know, some tips that might help you in anything that you might be having trouble with or that you can improve. Or just try a different way. We're always learning, you know, I'm still always learning. I'm trying new things. I'm taking classes. I'm seeing and learning from new people. It's a constant learning process because there's no such thing as perfection. We can only strive for it. So as far as the style change, you'll find that that's something that very few people can do, and there's a lot of kind of components into it, but as you see in this piece, we are going from moves that are kind of balletic almost, and others that are kind of modern, where we're just kind of very into the floor, and then we're kind of interspersed with some Latin dance, which again is something else. So this is why it's so important to be aware of your body, because you need to think of what part of you is going to make that change. So, for example, when you're doing something that's kind of more balletish technique, you want to pull up that lower part. I'm going to say, just for an immediate kind of result, you want to pull up that lower part, tighten it, so you're able to kind of pull everything together. That's what you're going to need for that. But then you're going to have to loosen it again really quick, because if you're doing something like this kind of pulsing we've been doing, you're more into the floor, and I want you there to think about like being stuck in sticky mud that's keeping you down, like you've got some goo or like something that's really sticking you to the floor, and each time you're going down, it's heavy. You can also think about something kind of on your back, like, oh. So that's that, and now we kind of get into the difficulty with the Latin parts, right, with the bachata. That's when you really need to loosen up, because if anything's tight, your movements are going to be tight. And what you really want is to keep them loose, because it's a totally different style. Yeah, so for that you want to try and let everything just hang loose. Let it hang. Let it hang, because this is, well, it is, at least in this piece, it's not a ballroom style, it's a street dance style. So you're just moving very freely. So that's something you have to practice beforehand, so your body remembers, okay, here I pull up, here I'm getting into the floor, here I'm loosening. And I'm going to try and put a lot of those contrasts in future pieces too, so we can practice them. I think it's a very cool thing to be able to do, because I was at a ballroom competition of a friend. I was like observing, and there were some beautiful dancers there, and then oh boy, the guys worked hard. They were dancing, for I don't know how many hours, every number with different ladies, and some very beautiful dancers, but when it was a very kind of contrasty style, they didn't find it easy to let loose of what they were doing before and adapt to that style. So, not hating on them, they're gorgeous dancers, but it was just something that I noticed and thought, wow, that's something that we ought to concentrate on and be conscious of. Hi, Jeff. Hello. So yeah, it's something to think about, and something we're going to work on both now and in future choreos. So with that, let's just kind of repeat what we've done, and maybe do a little bit farther, because we want to I'm gonna try and finish it this week and maybe next time, and we'll clean it up and then we'll give her a little mock performance just for us. So, all right, so we're walking in, and remember this is a very kind of, you don't want to go too slowly. You want to keep, you know, a decent kind of normal walk going. But it's very contemplative. You're just kind of thinking about something, reflecting. I'm sorry. And when you stop, you want to calculate it so you're stopping on your right foot. And again, remember you're on your leg before you lift up your other leg. So the feeling you want to have is that it's coming up quickly, but you really, it's not really coming up that quickly. You're making sure you're on your leg, and then you can make the lift quick once you're there. So it's like you're balancing on something, and then you're brushing through a parallel position, and the foot comes up, and then the knee is like making a circle. So there's like a circle here, bring it back, and then that left foot is going to slide forward, and so is your shoulder. And this is where your elbow, what we just talked about, is going to be working, and to stretch you out. Oops, sorry, see, that's why we keep it on leg. So stretching around, and your weight is going to be staying on your right leg. So this one is dragging back. And then we're gonna, it's just kind of a change step. So we're just kind of stepping to the side, stepping with the left, the right is replacing it, and then the left steps forward. And then again, might be in your leg, and your foot is going to brush through. You know, if you're in ballet, you can turn it out, but it doesn't have to be turned out. It doesn't even have to be pointed. It can be here. And then that's going to the floor, and we're going to be backing up, left, right, and this is what we call a balance in ballet, but it's the left, right, left. And as you see, the back foot is just pushing up, but you're not shifting your weight onto it. So the front is, it's here. Okay? Again, you can turn it out if that's what you want to do, but you don't have to. It's not about that here. So we're up, down, and stepping left again. And we're going to come through, and here I want you to be stretching here like you're hearing music from far away, like hearing an old memory. And then we're going to start our kind of mock bachata. Here's where you want to let it loose a little bit. As we come to the middle, take my hand. Make sure you can see me. I have to keep backing out this space. And from here, moving your right foot out. And this is your upper body. So if possible, if you can, I'd like you to just use your upper body, not so much your waist, but this upper part. And that is kind of making a circle around, and your elbows are coming out and in. So again, that's that movement. And you're offering. So you're coming around here. And then we're going to go the other direction. And again, this is just from the rib cage down. So it's not really a hip circle. It's a lower body circle. So as you see, it's like going from here. And I'm not leaning forward. I'm keeping my upper body in place. A little circle to the back. Don't exaggerate here. This is just the beginning. We're just keeping it gentle. And when you come here, I want you to not stop, but keep going this direction. Again, like you're listening to something far away. And that's going to take us into our first bachata step, where we'll swing the arms through. It's basic, so it's step together, step, tap, and step together, step, tap. And then we'll do a step, tap. And instead of a step tap to the other side, we're going to do kind of a little stride movement. So we're going to spin it around here and start walking forward. And you want to keep your bachata movements kind of small. You don't want to be taking big steps here. First of all, it's not like the style, and second of all, here you don't have a lot of time to do that weight shift to start walking forward. So we turn and we're walking forward. I don't have space here, so I can't really walk forward. This is like you're tiptoeing somewhere. And you're going to come to this side, and we're going to start those pulses. So this is where we're going to kind of change style again, because these little tiptoes, you kind of want to be up. You want to have that pulled up feeling in your, and especially in your lower part. And we're going to change style when we get here. Congrats, keep going. Yay. Great. Oh gosh, I love being here with you guys. This is like, I would love to see you all dancing. That would be so awesome. So we come here to our corner, and this is where we want to be very down into the earth. So this is where the glue comes in, the glue that's keeping you there. And it's, that stretchy kind of gooey stuff, like, or I don't know, maybe gum or something really that. And so these pulses here, so this is where she's saying, never be enough, never be enough. So you're pulsing up and down, but it's a heavy, like, into the earth. So arm is turning out with the second one, and then your foot comes back. But again, this is just low, it's just switching to the back. You're still feeling very heavy. And this one you're bringing your palms back. And this one you turn at your shoulders. So you're going from here to here to your audience. But try and make this turn from your waist and not your whole body. So, and in the second pulses, you're going to be giving this one a little kick forward. Again, remember you are down, down, and just kind of going forward. And here, get ready to give that little surprise hop. So we're going to do the direction. So you're just kind of jumping and swinging that other leg through. Again, if you're not a ballet dancer, don't worry. You can just walk through. And we're going to do 8 little tiptoes to the other side. And you're going to reach with your right hand to that wall or that side. And I do kind of a balletic lower half because that was how I was trained. It's just kind of habit. But again, all of this can be modified, reaching here, and we're going to start a turn from there. So the turn is, you're using this arm to bring you around. And so we're going to bring that around, and your upper body, again, you want to try and move just this upper part. And it doesn't have to be a big movement. It can be very small. And your arm is like, your arms are kind of smoothing a big, big ball. And bring you to the front. And here we're starting our little tantrum. So again, this is very into the ground. And your elbows are from making that pulse, that movement. So you can never be enough. And then for the second half, we're going forwards and back. And this one, it's the wrists are turning inwards, and then the elbows are pulling us back. And we're gonna go down again, like you've got a headache, and here again, you want to make this kind of a big surprise movement, but it's not a jump. It's more of a pushing movement to the side. Again, it doesn't have to be balletic. You can just push to the side. Step, step, and here's another little hop. And another couple of steps when you come here. And this is where we're going to stretch up. And that'll bring us into our lunges. And you're going to land on your right. Again, I usually do balletic, so I'm just going to do it without that today. Right, left. And our jump, where we jump on our left, and we're we're jumping and our foot comes to the front. And this is kind of illusion, unless you're like a big jumper. I'm not anymore. I used to be, but not now. So, you know, it doesn't have to stay in the air the whole time. You can create that illusion. You bring it to the front, and you've already landed, and you just swing it to the back. And then we're going to do a little kind of preparation step, which is the right, change to the left, little turn here. And that turn is going to lead right into your next basic. So step, tap, step together, step, tap, step together, step, tap. And then this leg is going to brush back. That's your left brushing back. And this one, you can let your body go forward. So it's just kind of a big movement to go to the back. And you can step, step. And we do our little retroussé. So if you're not a ballet person, I'm just going to have you kind of switch feet here, and you can swing a little coming back if you don't want to do the ballet. So you're kind of swinging up here and swinging back here and landing. And from here, little turn. If you're not comfortable turning in that position, these are all things that you can always modify and change around. You can, for example, just go up and turn in parallel position, but this is a single turn, and then you're going to use your left side to get you around, and this is multiple turns. So we do multiple turns, and you're going to come out, and this is, thank you. You're coming out of your turns here, your kind of chain of turns, and this is not true bachata. This is your right hip pulling you forward. It's like it's your hip is leading the movements. You're coming forward here, and then your right foot is coming in, tapping left, changing direction. And then your left is coming in, tapping right, and changing direction. And from here, we're going to sink down into a lunge. This arm is going to come up. And keep your weight over this right leg because we're going to come up with our turn. If you're not a turner, you can bring it around with little steps. That's okay too. This is your piece, and if you are going to perform it, even if it's just pretend performing, I want you to feel really comfortable, like, you know, everything is super sturdy. So if you need to modify it, it's better to modify it. So coming with a turn here, and this right leg is going to come forward and to the side. So it's a little kind of circular movement. Here, circular, and step on it, and then the left is going to brush through and step on it. Weight shift, because you're going to bring your right leg up, and from here we're going to start kind of stepping backwards, but I want your hips to move just kind of from side to side, and your arms are kind of free out to the side. And then we'll start our pulses again, but this time we're going to stay up, and we'll be like, this is like more of a question, and then we'll have more of an extreme question, and then we've had a big movement, and another surprise turn, up into like a tall position here, and right foot stepping over, left, and replace it, and you land on your left here in kind of a lunge, and then we're going to be just crossing in a grapevine. So we're stepping right, the left is coming over, and then the left is coming in back to land here. And here's where we'll start talking to the audience, and we're telling them, is never going to be enough. So our pulses are here, and then the second set are even higher, like we're talking to somebody up there, like why? Never be enough. And then we have another for me, and that we're just going to, from here, shift onto our left foot. And this arm, the right arm is going to come over your head. So against your elbow leading. Elbow is leading. And the elbow is going to come down as you unfold. And you're going to step back with your right and hop off on your left. Come back here. From here, we're going to do a chasse. That means we're just going to kind of change our left foot that we're stepping on up for our right. Just going to kick it out of the way. And we're going to step over, and we're going to do a little jump from our right foot. And this one's going to unfold your left foot. So it's going to be kind of this position, or if you're not in ballet, you can do it a little bit stronger, keep it down, and you might want to do a little bit stronger arms there. And this leg kind of straightens in the air, and we'll be falling back on it and coming forward again. Since I took so much time with going over some technique in the beginning, let's just kind of run it through once with the music, and or we can repeat it a little quicker without the music, run it through with music, and we will pick up on Wednesday and try and finish it up so we can clean it on Friday. There's not too much left, but it's like big music, so yeah, let's just keep going with that, and hopefully we'll have a nice piece to perform. So let's just run it quickly without music, walking in, and bouncing here, coming through, and coming forward, staying on your left leg, and just gonna walk into the side, coming up here. I have to keep moving back because I always want people to see me. Through, stepping on that leg, stepping backwards, and that one's gonna come out, and then you're gonna listen to the side, and then just kind of a slow bachata. Let that right foot again, and upper body, and then lower body, listening, and starting bachata. One side, the arms are sweeping through. And a little surprise turn here, and your little walks forward, which I have to back up for. And here's where we start our pulses, our heavy body. And forward. And surprise jump, and 8 little steps going this way. Again, we're giving our space back. Going to the side, and then we're just going to do kind of a little walking turn. The arms coming around the ball, the front, and tantrum, bigger tantrum, and like a holiday. And, oh gosh, this happens to me sometimes. Draw a blank. Okay, so we're coming up for our big music. So big surprise, lunge to the side, step, step, up, and then our whole body's going to kind of stretch out and fall forward into that lunge, lunge, step, step, and that swing through, jump here, change the leg, coming back with a turn. So I don't want to confuse you because I keep shifting positions. So you're coming back here, and you're going right into your basic, and then that swings out, the back leg, and then you're coming here. Now you can do whatever turn it is that you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can do parallel, and that brings you up, and to the middle, and this is bachata, kind of with your hip going. This is your right, tap left, change, left, tap right, change. And sinking down onto your left leg. This arm is coming up, and so turning through. Turning through, and then the right comes out with a little circle. Left with a little circle, and the right comes up. We're going to start backing up with our hips. And here we start our pulses again. Bigger, like this is some big corner. And then great big ones. And from here, we pull up and turn. Step over with the right, with the left, hanging here into a lunge. And then we're doing our grapevine, coming across. And to the middle again, and here, talking to the audience. And talking to somebody who's above the audience. And then we're going to sit on our left leg, bring the right over, and we're going to bring that leg out here. And we're going to be going back for this jump. And then we're going to continue on. Thank you. Thank you. So much better when we do it together. Thank you. Well, let's give that a try with the music. Let's try and remember it. We're all learning this together for the first time, so we're allowed to make mistakes. We're allowed to forget things. Let's just try it, and worst comes to worst, we'll just keep repeating. So let's give it a go.
I'm trying to hold my breath, let it stay this way, can't let this moment end. You set off a dream in me, getting louder now. Can you hear it echoing? Take my hand, will you share this with me? Starting without you, be all the shine, the thousand spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. Time to go, still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough, never be enough.
I probably hopped right out of the frame, so I forgot this bit here to bring you forward before you start on your way back. But that is generally how it goes with music. And we're gonna be in the bigger space again on Wednesday, so we can stretch it out a little. But in the meantime, just remind you about what we talked about at the beginning. We talked about that square of your shoulders and your hips, that weight shift, to be in balance before you step, moving your arms, letting the elbow lead, and we talked about turning, so about getting around, what you can do if you're not really a turner yet. And we also talked about style change. When we do the cleanup, we'll talk about where you want to do that style change exactly. So yeah, that is it for today, my Flare-Flies. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. It's so great to be here together and to be working on this, and I hope one day to see you dancing, and I hope you're enjoying this, and we will try and bring it to a conclusion on Wednesday so we can clean it up on Friday, because this is kind of a bigger piece than we've done before. You can always shoot us an email if you to Entertainment Flair FL, so that's entertainment, and then Flair is FLAIR, and then FL for Florida at gmail.com. You can contact us there if you want some one-on-one, and you know, if there's anything that's specific, you tell us before your class, and we will concentrate on that, because you know, everybody's different, everybody has strengths and weaknesses, but what we try to do is really like look at you as an individual and say, okay, what could benefit you the most, what will help you the most in reaching your goals. So please like and subscribe if you haven't already. My best love to you, my Flare-Flies, and I will see you at the latest on Wednesday. Take care, goodbye.